Hello, good evening and welcome. Paul here on Friday night at 8 o'clock. If you don't know me, I help people who've got a problem drinking put the fun back into their lives without the alcohol, and I use hypnosis, happiness and hijinks. Tonight I've got an interesting one for you. I've called it 3 reasons why you might be having a hard time stopping drinking. And this stems from a couple of things. First thing, it stems from a chat I was having the other night with a colleague, but also I was having a conversation online this afternoon with someone, and he made this comment. So we were talking about why he's having a problem, and he goes, I think that it's a FOMO, fear of missing out with friends and family, especially family, you know, feeling detachment from the group and all that kind of thing. The feeling of quitting, that I'm not normal or don't have enough self-control, the fear of what I could be if I did let go, lots of stuff I need to work through. I've been trying to have this year be a year of finding self-love and trying to find the real motivation behind drinking and real solutions to fears, anxieties, and that's all part of the process. So that was this guy's comment, and I responded, and in the light of the conversation I had the other day, is maybe you've actually got a phobia for stopping. What do I mean by that? Well, think about it. If you've tried everything and you get so far and you fail and you get so far and you fail, maybe the real reasons why you can't quit drinking is that you're actually afraid of what it's like on the other side of sobriety. Maybe you're scared, like this chap was saying, about the consequences in your mind of all the things that might go wrong for you once you start drinking, once you stop drinking. And the reason for this is that, alcohol tells us all these bizarre things. It says, oh, I'm going to relax you, I'll help you be less shy, I'll help you be outgoing, I'll help you be the life and soul of the party, and so on and so on and so on and so on. Which, yeah, to be fair, when you have your first ever drink, 15, 20, in my case, a long time ago, yeah, that might have been the case. But over time, you probably notice that the effect of that one drink now needs 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 drinks to have the same effect. So it's just lying to you. Your whole life becomes different when you quit. But it takes a realization that, yeah, you've got this potential phobia to quitting, this fear of the unknown. And we're all frightened of something, We're all frightened of, fear of failure, that our business won't work or this won't work, or if I go on a date with this person, he or she's going to tell me that, I'm not the right person, or that I've made a real hash of the meeting, maybe I was late. We all have fears and, little things that are going on in our heads about stuff, yeah? The thing you've got to do is you've actually got to have 3 things to get over any of these things I've just mentioned, yeah? Particularly when I'm talking about drinking. The first one is you've really got to have had enough of this problem, yeah? You've really got to be, pissed off, you've got to be angry with yourself, you've got to be humiliated, feel frustrated, no more, that's it, that's the end. You've got to have that absolute feeling inside yourself, otherwise, you're on a hiding to nothing, because you've really got to have this emotional state that says, this is it, this is the last day I'm going to drink, yeah? That's the first thing you need. The second thing, sorry I keep beeping here, but I've got my phone's live, yeah? The second thing you've got to have is you've got to have some determination. And what I mean by that is you've got to be able to see things through, okay? There's no point in making the effort to quit drinking, yeah, if you're going to sort of collapse at the first hurdle. The first obstacle comes along and you're, oh my God, no, I can't possibly do that. I've got to stop and start drinking again. You're not in the right place. So let me give you an example. You've quit drinking and some of your friends say, why don't you come out and meet us tonight? We're going for a drink down the pub. 3 things you could do. You could go down the pub and say you're the designated driver and still go and have a good time with your friends and not drink. You could actually fess up and say, hey guys and girls, I've had a bit of a problem with drinking. I've been to see my doctor. I've got to stop, health reasons, yeah? Or third thing, you could go, oh my God, no, I can't possibly go out with my friends because they're all drinkers and they're going to think I'm a freak. I'm not worthy. I've got no self-control. and all that kind of thing. If you choose the last option there, yeah, you haven't got the determination we're talking about. You've got to be prepared to go over these obstacles or find your way around these obstacles to get to the end result, which is, you know, being sober and putting some more fun and excitement and happiness back into your life. The third thing you need to have is you've got to be ready to learn. Because if you work with someone like me, or you work with, you follow a different kind of process of getting sober, there's some stuff you've got to learn. You've got to learn about yourself, you've got to learn to ask questions, you've got to learn about where you want to be, because I get the impression that a lot of people think that, you know, quitting drinking and getting sober is the be all and end all. That's the only thing in their lives, yeah? Well, it's not. You know, think about it, excuse me. Getting sober is just a stepping stone. Now, our lives are learning journeys, journeys of living, loving, I don't know how you want to call it, yeah? But if you're not prepared to learn, if you're not prepared to take on new information, you're not going to be able to progress even. To move forward, to get to, you know, the other side of this problem, you've got to be prepared to take on some new information and digest it and understand it and learn. And if you don't have those three things, if you don't have that, you know, I've had enough, if you don't have that determination, and if you don't have that willingness to learn, well, first of all, you're not going to be able to work with me, because I can only work with people that have those three things. And then, you know, the other point is that if you don't have those three things, or you only have one of them or two of them, yeah, I wouldn't think you were ready to make that leap. And this sounds kind of counterintuitive, but what I would do is just start tapering down your drinking rather than just quitting, because if you don't have those three, you're not in the right place. Your head's not in the right place. If you haven't thought about why you started in the first place, if you haven't thought about an abiding reason, why must I quit, you know, apart from those three things, you need ammunition. You know, if you're going to run a marathon, yeah, 26 miles or just over 26 miles, you train, you take some advice, you buy the right gear, you get the right shoes, and you fuel yourself. You know, the night before, you have a load of carbohydrates, maybe some pizza, some pasta. You get all the nutrients on board. You make sure you've got, you know where the water stations are and all that kind of thing, because you want to do the full 26 miles. Whether you're going to do that in 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, or 7 hours, doesn't matter. But you want to complete the race, so you prepare. And this is the same. You know, stopping drinking or losing weight or quitting smoking, they're all the same, yeah? You've got to be able to, you know, prepare yourself and be ready. And the most important way to be ready is in your head, yeah? Seriously, get your head together, get your mind in the right place. And then, seriously, it is really, really simple. Lots of people do it every day. I'm in a lot of different groups for a lot of different issues, and I see people all the day saying, yeah, you know, it was a real struggle for me, and but I did it and it worked, and I'm, you know, it's been a year now, it's been 2 years, it's been 5 years, it's been 10 years, and people use all different kinds of methods. But the one thing I find when I talk to these people or read their posts and stuff is they had those three things in place. You know, they just had enough. And they had the determination to see it through, and they were ready to take on board some new info. The ones that aren't ready, yeah, and you know, if you're not familiar with the process, a lot of people say, okay, it's day one, and then it's day two, and you've got these little apps you can buy which sort of give you a count to how many days you've been sober, how many months, how many years. And you see a lot of people doing really successfully, about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden, a couple of days later, they'll come back and go, sorry, I've not been posting for a while, but this happened, or that happened, and I'm back to day one. And to me, that sounds like the determination wasn't there. Something's come along, maybe something quite serious, you know, and that's brought them down. Yet, other people, I read a post today, some poor, what was it? Yeah, a lady had, in the same, like, sort of 48 hours, lost her best friend, lost her dog, and then injured herself. And under normal circumstances, she was saying that would have just made her, you know, go and buy a bottle of whatever it was and neck it down and just be comatose for a couple of days. But she said, you know, I'm still feeling like shit. I still feel really upset and depressed and sad at these things that have happened, but I didn't have a drink. That is one lady who's going to stay sober for the rest of her life, because if you can get through that without having a drink, then she can get through anything. And this is why, you know, I'm repeating this, yeah, because I really want you to understand you've got to have those three things. Get those three things in place, and then seriously, it will be a breeze. Wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to be, it will be a breeze. Yes, you've got to do the work, of course you have. But when I say it's going to be a breeze, I mean you'll be able to go through everything, deal with any obstacles, any problems, you know. That's what I'm talking about. So, for those of you who have just joined, thank you for coming on tonight. And I just want to sort of very quickly reiterate what I've been going on about. It was a message, well, it was a post today that I'd responded to from a chap who was saying that he thought he had a fear of missing out, you know, what would happen with his friends and his family and his tribe if he quit drinking. Sorry, and I'm reading from the post here. And, you know, people thinking that he wasn't normal, he didn't have any self-control. And I actually said to him, of course you're normal, of course you've got self-control. Those two things don't come into it when we're talking about an addiction, yeah? Addictions hit us from very different angles. I know some people with a lot of self-control that got sucked. Myself, I got sucked into 2 addictions over the years, yeah? But I dealt with them and got rid of them. So it is easier to do, but it's not about self-control. And you've got to get rid of this, what can I call it? You've got to get rid of this self-loathing, in the sense that you're not a freak, you're not weird, you're not unusual, you know, you're not somebody that can't handle themselves, you just happen to have an addiction. And when you get those 3 things in place, you can beat it, yeah? So we need to stop, I don't know, feeling those kind of negative feelings. They're not helpful. The stuff I talked about earlier on, being pissed off, angry, frustrated, humiliated, and no more, yes, they are used, because they're really good, strong emotions, yeah? And we can use those to push forward, but, oh, I feel really useless, I've got no self-control, and that kind of thing, that's not going to help us, that's not useful. We need the strong, powerful emotions to drive us forward. And that, I think, let me just check, yeah, that is pretty much it for tonight. So my name is Paul. I am a remedial hypnotist, but I specialise in helping people that have got a drink problem to put some fun and happiness back into their lives. And I do that using hypnosis, happiness, and hijinks. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening. I do this 7 nights a week, 8 o'clock UK time, and I'll be here tomorrow night, Saturday. Have a wonderful whatever, and see you again soon. Bye.